Hey everyone, this is Sithruth, and I'm here to give you a new player's guide to inventory management in Guild Wars 2. Now, to start off with, to open up your inventory, you press the I key, or you can also go up here and click on the bag button. Obviously it says inventory, and you open it up. So this is your inventory. Yours will obviously look different from mine. One thing, and one very important thing to note, is that in this game you do indeed have to equip bags on the left-hand side. Some games you have to do this, some games you don't. This is one of those where you do. So as you can see, you have a starter backpack called Starter Backpack, handily enough, and it comes with 20 slots. That's what you start off with, and you have to equip more bags as you go along. You can also unlock additional bag slots in the gem store if that's your kind of thing. As you level up and as you gain more experience and travel the world, you'll be able to find different ways to get more bags and bigger bags and different kinds of bags. So for example, I have a 12 slot bag, 2 10-slot bags, and an invisible bag. Now, some of these my tailor has crafted. Many crafting professions in Guild Wars 2 can craft new bags, and as they level up their crafting, of course, they can make bigger bags, which makes sense. Now, some bags have special qualities to them. So, for example, I have this invisible bag. What that means is when I go to a vendor to sell things, that bag will not show up. Nothing in it will show up. Won't be able to sell any of the stuff that's in that invisible bag. That's really handy if you're trying to keep certain things and you don't want to have to sort through stuff when you go to sell at a vendor. There are other bags that will automatically gather all of the crafting materials that you acquire into it, so you don't have to sort things out. There's ones called oiled bags that let just junk vendor items collect into it, so again, you don't have to worry about sorting through all your stuff in your inventory. So that's the bags. Another important part of the inventory panel is down here at the bottom where you'll see your currencies. So you can see over here I have my gems. Over here on the right I've got my gold, silver, copper currency, and if I hover over it, like I am right now, a drop-down list kind of comes up with a much wider range of currency like my karma, my laurels, my transmutation charges, badges of honor, fractal relics, all sorts of random stuff. You can also click and you get a nice big shiny box. You can also access this from your hero panel, but yeah, it's easy to hover over it in your inventory. So that's the gist of the panel. You can obviously grab this little dashed corner or whatever you want to call it. You can slide it around, move it around. That's pretty standard stuff. Another important thing is there's this little gear up here called options, and there's some pretty cool stuff here. So first of all, you can make it compact, and that kind of just arranges things to fill up the uppermost slots first, because that's how things fill up automatically. You can also hide new item highlights. When you get a new item, it'll kind of get a whitish glow. You can turn that off. You can also hide rare items, or the rarity color. As you can see, items have a border that denotes their rarity, so if I click on that, that coloring goes away. Lots of stuff you can do with that. So it's very important to know that those are options you can use. There's also this deposit all materials button. Now this, I'm not going to click it because there's things I want to do with the items that it's going to deposit. But basically what this deposit all materials button does is any items you have in your inventory that are crafting materials. So for example, I have 84 copper ore that are crafting material. If I were to click deposit all materials, this copper ore would disappear, and it goes into my crafting materials storage in my bank. And I'll show you that in a minute, because I'm still kind of covering the actual inventory backpacks for right now. But that is a very important thing. If you are out questing and you find that your inventory is filling up a lot, definitely make sure, if you're interested in keeping your crafting materials, that you are every so often depositing all your crafting materials. It'll go automatically into your bank. It's really nice and great, and I recommend doing it if you're into crafting. If you're not into crafting, there's a lot of other stuff you can do. So one really nice thing in this game is you can actually sell things to the trading post, which is like the trading post / auction house, whatever you want to call it. It's called the trading post in this game. You can actually sell things directly to the trading post from your inventory, even while you're out in the world doing whatever it is that you're doing. So for example, say I wanted to sell, let's say I want to sell this Berserker's shield. So I right click on it, Technically I have a couple of options. I could mail it to somebody, and if I click mail item 2, it'll automatically open up a new mail, and it'll be attached to the mail, but I don't feel like mailing it. I'm gonna sell this at the trading post. I'm gonna click sell at trading post, wait for the little trading company thing to show up. Now, this is so hassle-free, and I really recommend you do this if you have any items in your inventory that you want to try selling on the trading post. You think maybe you'll get more money for it there than if you vendor it, or crafting items. If you have a character, if you're doing anything basically, and you are not interested in crafting, you've accumulated all these crafting items, definitely sell them on the trading post rather than just vendoring them. I know a lot of people, especially new players, and friends of mine that have started playing recently, that just vendor their crafting materials, and they're really missing out on a lot of money. So definitely right-click, sell at trading post, that crafting material that you have. And it's really easy. You click it, and then either this button will say sell instantly or list item. It generates the price, the recommended price for you. You don't have to worry about it. You can, if you want, you can adjust the minimum price you think, and see then I could list this item for 1 silver and 56 copper rather than the recommended 56 copper. And I could list it, or I can just sell it instantly for 56 copper, and boom, done. Then I get a little alert up here at the Black Lion Trading Company, and if I go to Trading Post Merchant Person, then I just go and I pick up my coins. It's really that easy, so definitely do that if you have stuff in your inventory that you want to get rid of. So yeah, I'm going to click deposit all material. Oh wait, there's another option here. I could go buy more at Trading Post. So again, this works very similarly. I just click buy more. So say I'm crafting and it's like, oh no, I don't have enough copper ore to do this recipe. You just right click on it and you say, oh, I need 5 or 6 more copper ore. And then I click buy instantly. And again, same thing. You'll get a little alert up here in the Black Lion Trading Company logo. You go to a trading post, merchant, vendor, NPC, person thing, and you just pick up the item. It's that easy. Really, really easy. So if you need more stuff, or if you need to get rid of stuff, definitely recommend doing that. So now that your backpacks are all sorted out, you might want to sell some junk to a vendor. Luckily, I'm standing right next to one. So we're here with this merchant. So we go to click on the little sell tab. It's got the little coins. And you might notice there's a little bit of an inconsistency of what I can actually see in my inventory compared to what is in this vendor window. And you might think, well, why can't I see some of this stuff? So stuff that is account bound will not show up in the vendor thing. You cannot sell the account bound items. That's just how it is. So for example, you can see all these things that I have that aren't showing up over here are account bound. Also, the things down here aren't showing up because, again, it's in that invisible bag. So you can see the invisible bag does not show up. Another item that won't show up are soul-bound items, which is basically just Guild Wars 2's phrase for bound to character. It's bound to that specific character rather than the account. That won't show up. Another thing that won't show up are event or heart items. So these are items that you've picked up while you're working on a quest, or like a heart or an event. So say the event is, oh, gather me all these eggs, or the heart is like, oh, I need these data crystals from this thing, go kill the things and bring me the data crystals. If you don't turn all those things into the event NPC or the heart NPC, they will just sit in your inventory and you won't be able to sell them. So you really only have one option, and that's right click, destroy. You can also drag it out of your inventory like that and destroy. I'm not going to destroy that 84 copper because that's very valuable. But as you can see, I do have some of this stuff. Now, a really easy thing you can do in the vendors is you can just click sell junk, and we'll automatically just sell the vendor trash that doesn't actually do anything but give you money. And that's really nice, and it didn't sell my copper or anything. It's very handy. So, one last thing I want to talk about for inventory. You might, every so often, for leveling or whatever, you might come across salvage kits. You can also buy them from most merchants. I definitely recommend using them, especially for low-level armor pieces or weapons that you pick up. You take these salvage kits, you double-click, left-click that is, and you can use this to kind of salvage any crafting materials you might get from a armor piece. So say you salvage a pistol, it'll give you a little bit of copper, maybe some wood or something, and those crafting materials are definitely going to be more valuable than the pistol itself, especially at low levels. So, again, if you're looking to make money and you're low level and you don't feel like crafting, that's the way to do it. Obviously, I don't have anything in my inventory to salvage at the moment, unfortunately, but I think it's pretty straightforward. So now we're going to look at the bank. Now the bank is account-wide, and it's what you use to transfer things between your characters. You can't mail things to yourself, unfortunately. So you have to go to the bank and put things in. As you can see, I've unlocked 2 extra sets of bank storage. You'll start off with just this first top bit. I have a lot of stuff because I play a lot, because I have no life. But yeah, this is all your bank storage. Now this is really great. It's account-wide, and on top of that, you get, this is just, pretty straightforward. You drag stuff in, drop it, other characters of yours can go pick it up, etc. But then you also get stuff like this crafting material bank. Now this, you can basically have a 250 stack of every single kind of crafting item in here. So as you can see, some things I've maxed out, some things I just don't have. But it's really nice. When you right click and deposit material, you can see it disappeared from my inventory. Now it shows up in my material storage. And when you go to craft things at a crafting station, you don't actually even need to be near the bank. It just takes it from there automatically. So it's super convenient. You don't have to worry about going back and forth between the crafting station and your bank to making sure you have all the items. When you go to craft, it just takes it straight from this crafting material storage. Another thing at the bank is, of course, your wardrobe storage. You can look through your light, medium, and heavy armor skins, as well as your weapon skins. You can see weapon skins. I don't have a whole lot here. Your outfits, of course, again, I don't have a whole lot. And your miniatures, and just like the crafting thing, there's blank spaces for all the ones you don't have, and of course the ones that you do have are highlighted. So, yeah, I think that's about it. That covers my inventory management guide. I hope that was very helpful for you. If you have any more questions, please let me know, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. And also, if you have any more questions about the game in general, if you have a particular topic that you're having trouble with, let me know, and I'll see if I can put together a guide for you and, help you adjust to the game. So thanks for watching, and I will see you around the internet.